Story 1, The Face at the Window. Sarah never believed in paranoia. At 24 years old, she had finally moved into her own apartment. It wasn't luxurious, but it was quiet, affordable, and located in a peaceful neighborhood. The first time she saw the man, she barely noticed him. He was standing across the street near a broken streetlight. Just standing there, watching. She glanced at him for a second before walking inside. The next evening he was there again. Same location, same posture, same unsettling stare. Sarah convinced herself it was nothing. Maybe he was waiting for someone. Maybe he lived nearby. Maybe she was imagining things. But as the days passed, she began seeing him everywhere. At the grocery store, at the gas station, outside her workplace. Every time she noticed him, he would quickly look away. The feeling of being watched started following her everywhere. One rainy Thursday night, Sarah woke suddenly around 2:47 a.m. The room was completely dark. Yet something felt wrong. A strange instinct told her she wasn't alone. Slowly she turned toward her bedroom window. And froze. A pale face was pressed against the glass. A human face. Staring directly at her. Not blinking. Not moving. Just watching. Sarah screamed. The figure vanished instantly. Police arrived within minutes. They searched the area but found nobody. Only muddy footprints beneath the window. The officer advised her to keep her curtains closed. For several days nothing happened. Then the photographs arrived. The first envelope contained a picture of Sarah entering her apartment. The second showed her shopping. The third showed her sleeping. The image had clearly been taken from outside her bedroom window. Sarah felt sick. Police investigated but found no fingerprints. No clues. No suspect. Then something happened that changed everything. One evening she returned home from work. The apartment seemed normal. Until she walked into her bedroom. Her closet door was open. She always kept it closed. Inside sat another photograph. A fresh photograph. One taken from inside her apartment. Someone had been inside. Someone had stood in her bedroom. Someone had watched her while she slept. Terrified, Sarah moved to her sister's house that night. Police placed surveillance around her apartment. At 1:13 a.m., officers spotted movement near the rear window. A man attempted to climb inside. The same man Sarah had seen watching her for months. When police searched his vehicle, they discovered hundreds of photographs. Pictures of Sarah. Pictures of other women. Maps. Schedules. Even a duplicate key to her apartment. Investigators later learned he had entered her home multiple times while she was away. The most chilling discovery? Some photographs showed Sarah sleeping. Others showed her awake. Meaning he had been standing inside her apartment while she was home. Watching. Waiting. Learning. And if police hadn't caught him that night, nobody knows what would have happened next. But Sarah still checks every lock twice before going to bed. Because some nightmares don't end when the stalker is caught. Sometimes they stay with you forever. Story 2, The Unknown Number. Most stalkers want to be seen. This one preferred to remain invisible. Emily was 17 when the messages started. The first text arrived on a Friday evening. Nice blue jacket. Emily frowned. She had worn a blue jacket earlier that day. Confused, she replied, "Who is this?" No answer. The next morning another message arrived. "You looked beautiful at lunch." Emily felt uneasy. The messages continued. Every day. Every week. Sometimes dozens at a time. The sender knew everything. Where she shopped. What classes she attended. Which friends she talked to. Even conversations she believed were private. One afternoon she received a text saying, "Your dog likes sleeping near the back fence." Emily nearly dropped her phone. Nobody should have known that. Not unless they had been watching her house. The messages became increasingly disturbing. "I saw you leave at 7:12. You should smile more. You looked scared today." Emily changed her phone number. The messages continued. She deleted social media. The messages continued. She blocked every unknown number. The messages continued. Then came the photograph. A picture of her bedroom window. Taken at night. A second photo followed. A close-up image of her standing inside. The camera angle suggested it had been taken from her backyard. Emily's parents called police immediately. Investigators attempted to trace the numbers. Nothing. Whoever was sending them knew how to hide. Weeks turned into months. Emily became afraid to leave home. Then one afternoon she found a small gift box on her front porch. Inside was a silver necklace. A necklace she had admired in a shopping mall weeks earlier. She had never told anyone. Not even her best friend. The stalker had been close enough to hear her private conversations. Police intensified their investigation. Eventually detectives reviewed months of security footage from Emily's school. One face appeared repeatedly. Always nearby. Always watching. Never interacting. A quiet student named Ethan. When authorities searched his bedroom, they discovered something horrifying. An entire wall covered with photographs. Thousands of pages of notes. Schedules documenting Emily's daily routine. Records spanning nearly 2 years. Every movement. Every habit. Every location. He even documented which lights she switched on first after coming home. Detectives later admitted it was one of the most obsessive stalking cases they had ever encountered. The terrifying part? Emily never noticed him. Not once. For 2 years he existed in the background of her life. Silent. Invisible. Watching every step. And she had absolutely no idea. Story 3, The Room Above Mine. The final story is easily the most disturbing. Because unlike the previous victims, this stalker wasn't outside. He was already inside the house. Marcus rented a room in an old boarding house. The building was over a century old. The rent was suspiciously cheap. But Marcus didn't care. He needed a place to stay. The first strange thing he noticed was the footsteps. Every night around midnight. Heavy footsteps. Walking slowly above his room. Back and forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. Marcus complained to the landlord. The landlord laughed. That's impossible. Nobody lives upstairs. The room above Marcus was supposedly empty. Locked for years. Yet the footsteps continued. Weeks passed. Then food started disappearing. Milk. Bread. Fruit. Small amounts. Marcus assumed he was forgetful. Until one morning he found muddy footprints near his kitchen. A few days later he noticed his bathroom mirror slightly open. Almost like someone had touched it. An uncomfortable feeling settled over him. The feeling that he was being watched. One evening he returned home earlier than usual. As he entered his apartment, he heard movement in the bathroom. A shuffle. Then silence. Marcus grabbed a baseball bat. Slowly he approached. His heart pounded. He pushed open the bathroom door. Nobody. The room was empty. But the window was open. And there was mud on the floor. Marcus immediately called police. Officers searched the building. Eventually they forced open the locked room upstairs. Inside appeared to be nothing more than an abandoned storage room. Then one officer noticed a wardrobe. Behind it was a hidden opening. A narrow passage between the walls. Police crawled inside. What they found was horrifying. Blankets, food wrappers, water bottles, and photographs. Hundreds of photographs. Pictures of Marcus sleeping, watching television, cooking dinner, even showering. Someone had secretly lived inside the walls for months. The hidden passage connected directly to Marcus's bathroom through a concealed panel hidden behind the mirror. Every night while Marcus slept, the stalker emerged. Watching him. Stealing food. Taking photographs. Listening to conversations. Living only a few feet away. The footsteps Marcus heard weren't ghosts. They were real. The feeling of being watched wasn't paranoia. It was instinct. The stalker was eventually arrested. But police never discovered how long he had been living there. Weeks. Months. Maybe even years. And that is what makes this story so terrifying. Because right now, as you're listening to this, you probably checked your locks. Maybe you glanced at your window. Maybe you even looked behind you. But when was the last time you checked the walls? Because sometimes the most dangerous stalker isn't outside trying to get in. Sometimes, he's already inside. And if you enjoyed these terrifying stalker stories, remember to subscribe, because tonight, when you turn off the lights, you may start noticing things you've never noticed before.